Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed.
Who are you?
I will not warn you again. Drop your weapons, or we shall take them from you.
Do as they say. I sense people come to no harm.
Very well. I did not come here to do battle.
Why is it that everywhere we go, I end up in a cell? I mean, why did they lock us up? What is this place?
It is a training ground for Jedi.
What? This ice hole?
Yes. It bears the semblance of an academy. But where are all the students? Curious.
You've got to be joking. What is a Jedi Academy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
It is a place hidden from the galaxy like the Academy on Dantooine. But this place... Oh, ATRIS, you have been clever.
ATRIS?
It's none of your concern.
Well, the sooner we're out of here, the better. 2 crazy Jedi are more than enough for me. No one told me we were going to be dumped in a nest of Jedi.
And what is it about this place that causes you such fear?
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a bunch of Jedi. You know how they are.
No, I do not. Not in the way you seem to.
What? What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling. Let me follow the current. Deeper to its source.
Stop! Stop! Ah!
Whoever does the voice of Adam is not that great at voice acting.
Guilt.
I'm sorry, but that's not great.
It squirms in you like a worm. And the why? And there is its heart. You surprise me. I could not feel it before. Your feelings are a powerful shield indeed. Do not worry, Atten. If she is a Jedi, she will forgive. And if she is not, she will not care.
You can't tell her. Please. I'm asking you. I don't want her to...
Think less of you. I hardly think that's possible. Still, there is no shame in what you ask. We all wage war with the past, and it leaves its scars. I will not speak of yours, Atten, but there is a price for such things.
What? What price?
There are those who wage war, and those who follow.
No, he's not that great of an actor.
You're a crude thing, murderer, but you have your uses. You know how important this woman we travel with is. Even one such as you can feel it. You will serve her until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atten, you will be broken. You fear the Jedi, and rightly so. If ATRIS learns of your choices, you will never leave this place. But whatever fear you hold of the Jedi, know that if you disobey me, that my punishment will make you beg for the death that has long hounded you. Wipe the fear from your mind. You will not find blind obedience a difficult master. You chose it once. You will learn to embrace it again.
I don't know how you became such a manipulative witch, but why a vicious old scow like yourself would even bother with me is a bigger mystery.
No game of Dajaric can be won without pawns, and this may prove to be a very long game. You are a slippery one. Your thoughts difficult for even one such as I to read. I suspect the self-loathing that squirms within you gives you a curious strength. Your spirit, as diseased as it is, refuses to allow you to give up, no matter what threats you face and whatever wreckage you leave behind you. I feel you have crossed our path for a reason. Perhaps even you, at the right moment, may be able to turn aside disaster. If so, your potential is not yet spent.
Fine. I'll be your pawn. But I still think you've got the wrong man.
Perhaps. But someone has to fly the ship, and the Force is a hard thing to predict. You have crossed our path for a reason. Our path brought us here for a reason. And now I know why. The past is here, and it must be met before the future can be set in motion.
More Jedi speak. Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough time with you. Sleep, murderer, and be silent. I need no distractions. A critical moment approaches.
I don't do much talking in the big exposition pieces, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to include as much of the exposition pieces as I can. I feel like this is the meat of the game, is the exposition and the dialogue between characters.
I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing. I thought you had taken the exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why?
It was not my intention to come here, ATRIS, or to see you again.
Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out?
The Force brought me here.
You presume much. The Force does not guide your movements, not anymore. Its connection was lost when you fell. Perhaps you feel that the Force also led you to the Mandalorian Wars as well, but in truth it only led to your exile.
I couldn't stand by and allow innocents to die in the Outer Rim.
So you said, so long ago. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. You sought adventure. You hungered for battle. You could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled.
My punishment could have been worse. For that, I am grateful.
There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I have kept it, so I would never forget.
I didn't realize you still had it after so many years.
I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order.
If I became a Jedi again, would you return it to me?
Become a Jedi again? That is a thing far out of reach. But I am not unsympathetic to your feelings. Leaving the Order must have been difficult for you. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice.
I went to war to protect others, not for battle.
So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way.
I told you it wasn't out of aggression. I was defending others.
Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us.
Revan and Malak turned on you. I didn't.
Without you and the other fallen Jedi to support them, to feed their lust for war, Revan and Malak's crusade would have been over before it began.
I'm not here to debate the Council's decision.
Indeed. Very well. Your exile has given you some wisdom, at least. So then answer me. How did you find this place? And why have you returned after all this time?
I'm looking for my ship so I can leave Telos.
Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you're admitting to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility.
Look, Paragus was an accident.
Ah, an accident. Something beyond your control. You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy, before the Jedi. Do you know what you have done?
I know I put Telos in jeopardy, but I had no choice.
No, your crime is much more than that. Without the fuel from Paragus, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash into the planet and its destruction will echo across 20 other worlds.
Why is Telos so important?
Telos was a test to see if the Republic could mount a restoration effort on the Outer Rim. When it fails, the Republic will not finance another. The other Rim worlds, devastated by the Sith, will remain graveyard worlds, devoid of life. And that is the magnitude of your crime.
You know me. You know I would not have intentionally committed such an act.
I have not known you since you left to serve Revan in the Mandalorian Wars. The only question that remains is how far you have fallen. How is it that you are not content to confine your ruin to yourself? You must spread it to others wherever you go. Ruin yourself with your actions if you will. But when your actions bring harm to others, then you must answer for it.
So now I get blamed for the actions of the Sith?
The Sith? What do you mean?
The Sith came for me on Paragus to kill me.
You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scars on you. And you encountered them on Paragus. But what would they want there? They can't have been looking for you.
The Sith believed me to be the last Jedi.
You? If they thought you a Jedi, the teachings of the Sith blind them indeed. I am the last Jedi, not you. You betrayed our teachings, our beliefs, the very core of the Jedi Order. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go to see if you would lead them here.
They're stronger than you think. At least one Sith Lord stands with them, and they fight differently from the other Sith in the Jedi Civil War.
Whatever force they can bring to bear, it will matter not. If they face a true Jedi, they shall fall.
How can I help?
You offer your aid after turning your back on me, on the Council. The Jedi is not something you embrace out of fear. The commitment is stronger than that, something you never seem to understand.
I'm not doing this out of fear. I want to help.
Perhaps. But if you help me, it cannot be done from here. There are others in the galaxy who may help us against a Sith threat. If you can find them, gain their trust, perhaps our defenses shall be stronger for it. Take your ship, seek them out. If you find them, encourage them to gather on Dantooine. From there we can call a council and see what can be done.
I'll gather what help I can and assemble them on Tatooine.
Then I shall send you on your way. It is now time for you to depart.
We shall remove her, mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, mistress?
The exile reminded me of something I had forgotten.
Forgive me, mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Was she important to you once?
We all have our heroes, and when we watch them fall, we die inside. She made a choice once, and I did not. The day we judged her, I stood in the chamber, and she was so right. She was so certain of it. I doubted myself, but not now. She will never make me doubt myself again. But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
So I'm just assuming that's Handmaiden. Was their name like Brianna? Her canonical name? I forget. I looked it up once. Doesn't really matter because we won't be using Handmaiden in our playthrough. Right.
Why have you approached me?
I'm looking for my friends.
You will find them in the main irrigation channel room, in the northern part of the plateau interior.
So they're prisoners.
They were caged for their safety, until we could determine your intent, exile. ATRIS cautioned us against your tactics, fearing that your allies would create a distraction. Your companions gave us little trouble, however. The male could have presented some challenge if he had resisted, but he chose not to.
Who, Atten?
He has had some Echani training. He masks it well, but when you were in danger, his mask dropped into a stance we know well.
Where would you have gotten that training?
I do not know. The Echani forms are known to be taught to military special forces throughout the galaxy. If the source is a mystery to you, perhaps you should ask him. It would be wise to know those you travel with.
The Ebonhawk, where is it?
Your ship is stored in the hangar. ATRIS has given you permission to leave this place, and permission to return if you remain in her service.
Alright, I'll be going now. That is not the right direction.
Did you find what you came for?
That depends. What was I supposed to find here?
There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still.
The woman here is a Jedi, ATRIS, one of the Council.
There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this ATRIS, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious.
Aren't the Handmaiden students?
No, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls, trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force-sensitive.
ATRIS plans to heal the galaxy and rebuild the Order.
Plans are fragile things, and life often dashes expectations to the ground. Perhaps students will come to her in time. For now, she is surrounded by those who cannot feel the Force.
We may be able to gather students and allies on our journey. Let's go.
Very well. Let us depart.
Is that okay? He looks out cold.
He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
Alright then, let me free you.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash.
There's nothing to apologize for. Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we?
Jedi Academy, concealed on the northern pole of Telos.
This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use.
Are you well enough to travel?
I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship.
Meet me at the ship and prep it for launch. We'll be leaving as soon as we can.
Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
2 party members left are Anton and Kreia. Beodor will meet you at the Ebon Hawk. And we gained some influence with Beodor. Good. Oh no, she must be Handmaiden. Because it doesn't say Handmaiden's sister.
You are the exile. The one ATRIS warned us about.
What did ATRIS say?
She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
I went to war to protect others, not to fight.
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
Dark side? I never turned to the dark side.
ATRIS says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
That doesn't explain why I stopped fighting after the Mandalorian Wars.
ATRIS says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
That's untrue, but ATRIS is entitled to her opinion.
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
Expressed feelings?
Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all.
Are you saying ATRIS could be wrong about me?
Without having seen you and ATRIS fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
I have no wish to fight ATRIS.
Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice.
If I fought ATRIS, wouldn't that make the truth come out?
Perhaps. It may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
I would like to ask you something.
You may ask.
You look different than the other women here.
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others.
I apologize, I meant no offense.
There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
Is it a sensitive subject?
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time.
Alright, I'll be going now.
Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
It's a difficult thing to describe.
Please, I wish to know.
Oh, wow. I did not speak to Handmaiden the first time. Actually, I'm not even sure if I even went into this area. Yeah, I went into this area and I looted it, but I didn't, notice that she was different from the others. Hold on, let me read through these and see what these things say. Imagine awakening and hearing the heartbeat of the galaxy for the first time.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm,
Hey,
passions
I'm the
of
one
all
teaching
living
here,
things
Kreia.
turn
This is
into
my
energy,
chance.
into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood.
Are you just doing this
The
because they
call of
didn't give the
new
exile a
mysteries of
voice?
dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
If you have any further questions in the future, seek me out and ask. Cool. I never talked to Handmaiden before. I've never played the male version of the game, so this is a new territory for me. T3 is around here somewhere too. I have to get him. I almost forgot. That's embarrassing. T3's, like I've said before, T3 is one of my favorite characters. I gotta get him back. There he is.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebonhawk. Not so smug now, are you, you little thief?
Don't be a fool. ATRIS stole the ship and the droid.
Says you.
T3, are you alright? Look, I'm just glad I found you. Wait, she downloaded what from you? Why would she want what's in your memory core? You can fill me in later. Let's get you out of there first. Alright, we'll see you at the Ebonhawk. Alright, cool. We got our influence with T3. Alright, cool. Ebonhawk. Good to see you again. Oh, of course I can't pass under there. This is the loading ramp to the Ebonhawk. Once you're aboard, you'll be leaving the Telos Polar Academy for good. Let's go.